is a hit. Let me call the kids. I need them on this joint. Hey, Andrea, it's Daddy Baby. Listen, I wrote this song called Phenomenal. Yeah, to the book me and Andre wrote, Plant the Seed, Grow the Dream. Yeah, we're doing an audio book and a CD. Anyway, I need you to meet me at the office. All right? So bring your brother with you. We're going to have a meeting. I'm going to teach y'all the song, and then we're going to go in the studio to record it. You got to get it done, though, baby. So I need y'all to meet me, all right? I'll see you soon. All right. Bye. Keep writing, keep singing, keep doing what you love. And don't ever let nobody tell you that you're not phenomenal. Because you're phenomenal.
Keep your
and
head.
you're phenomenal.
Keep your
And I'm phenomenal. And you are phenomenal. Are you guys ready to record this song? Yeah.
What about now?
Are you getting all of this?
Yes.
There's something that you need to hear. When I say you know that I'm sincere, I came by here just to let you know you are phenomenal. There's something that you need to hear. When I say you know that I'm sincere, I came by here just to let you know you are phenomenal.
So many times you hear that you don't got what it takes to get what you want. You listen to the lie before you even try. You don't have to let your dreams die. And spread our wings and learn how to fly. Take a leap of faith right into the sky. And let your dreams grow. The whole world will know that everything you want will be yours.
There's something that you need to hear. When I say you know that I'm sincere, I came out here just to let you know phenomenal. There's something that you need to hear. When I say you know that I'm sincere, I came out here just to let you know you are phenomenal.
So many times you hear that you don't got what it takes to get what you want. You listen to the lie before you even try. You don't have to let your dreams die. Let's spread our wings and learn how to fly. Take a leap of faith right into the sky. And let your dreams grow. The whole world will know that everything you want will be yours.
There's something that you need to hear. When I say you know that I'm sincere, just to let you know you are phenomenal. There's something that you need to hear. When I say you know that I'm sincere, just to let you know you are phenomenal.
Come together, help your brothers and your sisters. Come together, help your brothers and your sisters. Come together, help your brothers and your sisters. Come together, help your brothers and your sisters.
There's something that you need to hear.
You need to
When I say you know that I'm
hear.
sincere, I came out here just to let you know you are phenomenal. There's something that you need to hear. When I say you know that I'm sincere, I came out here just to let you know you are phenomenal. There's
Abram?
Wait, you that crazy thing. That baby, I can't do it. That thing. Oh, yeah. How do you do that? Like,
Abram can do it.
Dreams are a part of life. No one can say that I've read.
What's up, good peoples? It's your boy Dre. We back at y'all again. So, real quick, we just want to take you on a quick view of this crib. This was one house that was donated to our nonprofit organization. We have over 8,000 abandoned houses in the city of Trenton alone. And with that being said, it affects everything in the city when you can't receive property taxes from properties. When you have property taxes in place, it covers so much. So that's one of the main reasons why we're doing Resurrecting Homes, Resurrecting Dreams, and Resurrecting Families, because we're saying, okay, if we can come into these communities, take these same abandoned houses. This house was a burnt down house. The homeowner wanted to donate it because she didn't want, this was her neighborhood that she lived in, but she didn't want for the house to remain an eyesore in the community. So she donated it to our nonprofit, and we came in here and we fixed it up. Now we want to be able to turn this same house over to a homeowner, give them that opportunity to own their first home. So if we take the same mindset, teach it to contractors, teach it to investors, teach them to partner up, and do the same exact thing that we're doing. And this is how we save our city. So if we're looking to do something powerful, call us, get in touch with us, let's partner up, let's do more of the exact same things that we're trying to present to the city. And we can possibly save our city, which means saving our youth and giving them opportunities that they normally wouldn't have. We don't want it to turn into no ghost town, you know what I mean? So this is something that we gotta do, we gotta come together and do it. It literally took us about $15,000 to put this house back together. It's not a lot, you know what I mean? And we'll be able to turn it over, give it to a homeowner for like $60,000. Now instead of you paying us $1,200 or $1,300 a month in rent, you will own this same home for like $600 a month rent. You know what I mean? So it works out for everybody. It's a win-win for the city to get back on the tax books. It's a win-win for the new homeowner, and then it's a win-win for our program. We can continue to do what we're doing in the city of Trenton. All right. So stay tuned. We're gonna show y'all more. And peace. Yeah, once that fire hit it, man.
It just took out the whole
Fire, man. Juke. We brought it back to life. That's why we do Resurrecting Homes. You know what I mean?
exactly.
That's what it's about. Take the same house.
Put it in.
Yeah.
This is a big, huge, beautiful improvement.
Yeah. All new electric, all new plumbing, new roof, all of that.
This is what we're gonna get into this season.
Yes,
is
sir.
explaining how we got it from the burnt house to this right here.
That's right. So stay tuned.
Room by room.
Room by room. Yeah, room by room. We're gonna teach this trade to our peoples. I want y'all to learn how to build, how to do the same thing.
And vocational training. You know, when we go to school, they prepared you to take on the trade or become your own boss, or even, you know what I'm saying, have a type of skill. When you go out in the real world, you have something, you know what I mean, to go out there with. Instead of now, when kids got to school, they ain't got nothing. No type of skills, trades, knowledge, or anything. So we want to bring that back. You know what I'm saying, resurrecting families, homes, and dreams.
should I do next? So many voices. How can one darkness just let me be? You'll never control me. Is the love will set me free from the words on my mouth? That's what I'm claiming. Started loving myself a few months ago. I mean, it was a start 'cause I had to grow. I was so lost, I was so afraid. Then the doc said it was in my head. Never realized I just lost faith in the creator of all of my I was made. So I listened for a while and took some meds. Had to mess with my head for me to awaken. I had so many options. What should I do next? So many voices. How can one listen? I had so many options. What should I do next? So many voices. How can one darkness just let me be? You'll never control me. His love will set me free from the words on my mouth. That's what I'm claiming. I'm not saying I'm the poster child for depression or anxiety, just telling a piece of my story. God's love, the meds and therapy. That's what it took for me to gain back who I was called to be. Hi, my name is Andrea Alexia Rios Sanchez. It's my pleasure to meet you. Darkness, just let me be. You'll never control me. His love will set me free from the words on my mouth. That's what I'm claiming. Darkness, just let me be.
Peoples, doing a walkthrough, got inspections on this property we redid out here in Willingboro. Nice corner lot property, real spacious. Let's take a look before the inspectors come. Had a chance to play with the trim work in here. Yeah, I like the box trimming, and we didn't do crown molding, we did an inset ceiling. Yeah, played around with the recessed lighting and boxed all that in, put our ductwork in, made it real nice. I love this fireplace that we redid. Brought it back to life, engineered floors. This is like an open floor plan, so it flows right into the kitchen. We redid. Yeah. Granite countertops, stainless steel appliances. This one, we have a half bath on the first floor. Man, it's real cute. People ain't gotta be walking all over your house. And they come over for the cookouts and the barbecues. Let's take a quick look outside. He was able to save this little deck. Did a little bit of pavers work. We were able to save that. Came out real cute. Somebody's gonna get a nice big property. Nice yard. Did the siding work. All that good stuff. Brought it back to life. Brought it back to life. This is going to be a utility area here. Get my washer and dryer. Set them up real nice. Then we got closet area. Guys on their way to clean this one out. Take Take some of our stuff back to the shop, dining room. We were able to play with the chandeliers, the inset ceiling, and came out real nice. Let's go around this way. Take a look upstairs real quickity quick. I'm gonna take up too much of y'all precious time, but I'm so glad y'all could join us. Yeah, I like that grays in the bathroom. We did all this. Came out real nice. Yeah. One of the bedrooms. Love these floors. We switched it up a little bit. She picked out different color scheme for upstairs with the floors and the bedrooms. To put 2 slider doors on there, that was like a 8-foot closet, almost 9 feet. We made it work though, 'cause that's what we do. Played around with the recess in here. This is the master bedroom and master bathroom. Got them a nice little stand-up shower. Played around with the tiles and stuff. It's a nice another closet for them. There you have it. Another property down. Thanks for joining us. Peace. He can't hear you, brother. What's up, good peoples? Welcome to Urban Economics and Development Podcast. I am your host, Andre Williams. I have a very interesting group of young men in the hot seats tonight. We're going to discuss their organizations that they represent, and we are going to talk about why it's important. One of the things that, we've been mulling over this last week since this whole coronavirus thing has transpired in New Jersey the way that it has, is we've been trying to engage with the community to encourage them and let them know that you really have to, at this point in time, kind of stick together, you know what I mean? And why it's important for us to, be kind in situations like this, be considerate of others, be courteous of others, and just put a good effort towards being neighborly. A lot of people are panicking and under a lot of pressure, and they really don't know why, but the media sometimes will hype things up and put you in that position to make you feel as though, there's no hope. But I'm here to tell you that there's hope. So welcome to Hamilton Radio. Welcome to Hamilton Radio on the app, Channel 2. Welcome to Urban Economics and Development Podcast. Again, I am your host, Andre Williams. I have couple gentlemen in here that you guys know. Big Robert Rufus. Say what's up to Big Robert Rufus.
What's going on?
All right. He gonna jam for us a little bit tonight. And then to my left, which is your right, we have Brother Alfred. Peace and blessings to you, brother.
Peace. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, man. So to my right, we got Rob's big brother, Brother James Graham. How you doing?
All right, bro.
You good?
I'm good.
Good. You got to throw the headsets on. Yeah, get them on, doc. That way they can hear you. And...
moving through it all.
Yes, sir. So, Ruben, can we make sure all the mics are queued up? Because I got some good questions for the brothers. And we just got some great information that we want to give you guys this evening. We know that New Jersey has a curfew. Are you guys aware of that?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Gotta let them know.
Yeah. So we have an 8 o'clock curfew, which is kind of weird, but it's a blessing anyway. You know what I mean? Right before the show started, we were talking about
the importance of sticking together with your family, and this is kind of, putting you in that position to where you're going to spend some extra time, with your family. That's what God is telling us. Get somewhere and sit your butt down. You know what I mean?
We have a part of our census campaign, Census 2020 campaign, is a family that counts together.
Yeah.
Stays together.
I like that, man. I like that. So this is a good time to jump into the census. This is the U.S. Census. Kind of give us a breakdown of what the census mean, and a lot of people don't really know what it is. So for our audience that haven't been reporting to the census, you know what I mean, kind of give them an idea of what the census is.
Awesome. The census is a 10-year, what they call decennial count of the population.
Okay.
Persons are counted by their residence
Mm-hmm.
and household.
Okay.
And so, if you're homeless,
Mm-hmm.
but you are registered as a resident,
Mm-hmm.
technically you can be counted wherever it is that you are residing at that time on that day. So that could be a park bench.
Gotcha.
So everyone is pretty much counted, and this
Mm-hmm.
isn't something that's voluntary. This is actually mandatory. This is a constitutional
Mm-hmm.
sanction.
Mm-hmm.
So the census has been around since 1790, and it's nothing to be afraid of.
Mm-hmm.
People are counted for a reason. It's mostly has to do with apportioning the representation of government
Mm-hmm.
and resources.
Now, you said since 1790, and I can attest to that because when I was doing my ancestry background, I was on the website, and every time I pulled up, records that was before the 1900s, the only way that I was able to find out who family members were and where they were residing was through the census records. And they have those posted on most of the ancestry websites. You know what I mean? Like if you become a member of one of those websites, and I was able to actually find family members from the from the late 1700s and early 1900s through the census records. Like it was weird, but that's when I knew that it was extremely important. You know what I mean? Because I was able to trace my grandmother back, and my great-grandmother, and my great-great-grandmother back to the late 1700s, which is, had it not been for the census records, I would not have been able to at least trace our roots back to that time. And it hit me then. And I'm going back maybe about 7 or 8 years ago when I started researching our roots and just trying to get a handle on where the family was from. And I was building records so that I can report to the family reunion committees that we had started on both sides of my family. And those census records came in handy because it told me a lot about the areas that they grew up in, the jobs that their parents had, how many kids were in school, how many wasn't, you know what I mean? Like who else was in the household. So it forced me to look at how, not just how important it is to each family, but just to the country in general, how important it is.
Yes.
Yeah.
A name goes a long way.
Yeah.
So when you research through
Mm-hmm.
Ancestry.com or
Mm-hmm.
such as places 23andMe,
Mm-hmm.
those ways is how you would research someone anthropologically,
Mm-hmm.
biologically, or genetically.
Mm-hmm.
What's interesting about the race class definition for the census is
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't attempt to define race class
Right.
anthropologically, biologically, or genetically.
Mm-hmm.
So some people have
Mm-hmm.
utilize Ancestry.com and 23andMe,
Mm-hmm.
23andMe, thinking that, yes, I'm going to look for my family.
Mm-hmm.
And even in that, the name is not their family's name. It's the name of, from slavery.
Right,
Actually, and it could be the Wims, but
Right.
the Wims had some of your ancestors.
Right.
And so that is somewhat disingenuous, but
Yeah.
it gives people hope. So I
Yeah.
get it.
Mhm.
But in this time, people might utilize those those organizations to try and why? Because the census says, hey, we're asking about your national origin this time.
Right.
A lot of people haven't. They've never been asked about their national origin, or they don't even know where to start.
Right.
And so race class is defined by national origin. So there's a basic general definition of national origin, which it refers to the country a person was born in
Okay.
or where their ancestors live.
I got you.
So now, I am a person who have origins in the original people of North Africa. An example of some of those people are Moroccans. I'm a descendant of Moroccans and born in America. So that makes me, my nationality is a Moorish American, but my national origin is Moroccan. Now, that I'm not disconnected from Africa by
Right.
stating that.
Right.
Now, my national origin determines my race class, not the other way around.
Got you.
And so if I express to you that by claiming my national origin is Moroccan and that the United States would class me as white, that might be very interesting to you and raise an eyebrow.
It would.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so in the past, the enumerators or the census counters
Right.
were given instructions that if an individual was dark or of melanated, or they would say of Negro blood, that they were to be counted and their race class was to be designated as Negro, colored, or black, or slave. And so these people were classed as undesirables during the time of 1779 to 1865.
That's deep.
And they're disenfranchised then and still today now. And so if and when they are counted, the question that I was asked was, well, are they being counted 3/5 of a person for this count? And so, well, no, this census count takes the whole number
Right.
of persons, but that doesn't mean that at some juncture, 3/5 is what's appropriated
I
in
got
order
you.
to apportion the government.
Right.
So
Right.
you need the whole number first
Right.
before you apply the formula of 3/5.
Got you. Got you.
Yeah, I was looking at the city of Trenton and its census from 1920. And you look at Trenton now, it has 84,000 people listed in the census, 84,000 plus. But in 1920s, it had like 118,000 people that were registered through the census as a city, being, you know, full of vibrant and, you know, life. So you look at the loss of, I guess you say, funding that comes with from that portion of the government from 1920 to now, 2020. You know what I'm saying? So we went from 100, and I think the max amount of people that was ever counted in the city of Trenton was 123,000. And that was in like 1940. And now you look at, we're at 84,000 plus. So we took a loss based on the census, and coming from a spirituality sense, you in an energetic sense, you took a loss of energy, and you know, and you're not going to get that back unless you actually get counted and become more vibrant into
Right.
the city.
Yeah, that's deep, man.
So we in the hot seat, right?
Yeah, man.
All right.
Yeah, man.
So,
yeah, man.
so we need some hot seat questions, right?
Yeah.
All right. So let's make it a little juicy, right?
Yeah.
I got a question I could throw back at you, right?
Right.
All right. So representation, right? What Mexicans have Mexican representation. Chinese have Chinese representation. Nigerians have Nigerian representation. They from Africa, right? They got some representation. What's the representation? Who represents Negroes, coloreds, blacks, African Americans today? Who would you say is their representation on a political front, on a congressional front? Who?
People-wise, you mean? Person-wise?
Nationality-wise,
No, I mean representation-wise, in a sense as
What would they classify us as, you mean, or?
not what would they classify us as. Puerto Rico has 3 commissioners in Congress that represent Puerto Ricans. Do we have any commissioners that represent
African Americans, you're saying?
African Americans, or some people identify as Negro, colored, black. Where's your representation at in Congress?
Well, you would have to think there's no actual one that's going to step to that plate, and from a sense of nationality, this is America, and the mindset is not to, it's all about integration. Mm-hmm. So when they come from the mindset of I'm African American, they're thinking about integrating. We've bought into integrating. Right. So from that point, we really haven't got to the point where we have a national representative, because there's no one, stating that they are representing something from a black point of view or African American point of view. So they're into the American point of view. They're into the American mindset.
Well, I mean, you've had, to us the people as black men, we claim Barack Obama. You know what I mean? Like saying, okay, he's representing us now. Maybe he didn't go out and say I'm for the black Americans or the African Americans, but to us, just on a personal level, we kind of look at people in those seats and we'll claim them before they'll claim us, so to speak.
Oh man, that is a hot seat topic, right?
It is.
Race.
Because go ahead. No. I'm just, the reason I said that is because between us in a conversation, that's how we'll look at Barack Obama.
Yes.
That's how we'll look at Cory Booker.
Yes.
You know what I mean? That's how we'll look at Michelle Obama and Al Sharpton and what was the other Colin Powell. We'll look at them and say, you know what I mean? They're for us, but for them it's about integrating. It's about the American people. It's about, and I get it, but to us, barbershop talk, real talk between brothers working on whatever, bruh, no, we got somebody in the White House. You know what I mean? So that's how we look at it.
The senator lady that goes against Trump all the time. What's her name? I forgot her name.
Yeah, she a beast, man.
Yeah, she not playing. I think she the older lady with the.
Oh, you talking about from L.A., from California? Yeah. I can't remember her name, but yeah, Barbara something.
But we'll claim her.
Yeah.
Now will they be like, yo, I'm for? Not, of course they won't say it because it ain't politically correct to say I'm for. The brothers in the hood. I'm for the brothers from whatever. They won't come out and politically say that, but we'll say it for them. You know what I mean? Yeah. But not to go ahead. I would like for you to explain, because I know your question is loaded.
Well, I love this. Now I have an opportunity to say something about the President Barack Obama. Yes, social engineering tells us to say he's black, and we got a black one in the White House.
Right.
But law governs all events.
Right.
And when we look at the census race class definitions, check this out.
Yeah.
We got white, we got black, we got Asian, we got American Indian, and we got Hawaiian Pacific Islander.
So he'll fall under that?
He falls under Hawaiian Pacific Islander. So even according to law, he ain't black. Now,
that's
how
deep.
About that?
Yeah, that's deep, Doc.
His dad was Nigerian, right?
Yeah, but that's his mother. Because in the U.S., the child takes the mother's status.
Wow.
Even in slavery, that's what the codes are. If you read the excerpt on legislating slavery in New Jersey, after slavery was abolished, the slaves that came out of that were made apprentices for life, and the children of the mother took their status. And so still this is why today, while we still cling on those names that allude to slavery, not knowing how it affects us in politics, in law, in society, in religion.
Right.
Those names, Negro, colored, black, and African American, have codes and laws that apply to them and affect the people who utilize them. And it's not an identity, it's a condition of a people at a time.
Gotcha.
And so the question is, yes, when do we come on a national standard? When do we step up and cast a free national ballot and get congressional representation? And so I see that as a viable solution and not something I guess it's a viable solution. I'll put it like that. It's a viable solution.
It's a viable solution with a change of a mindset. You know what I'm saying? So it has to be a whole campaign to change your mindset to get that viable solution. Like we were stating, because for so long we have bought into American integration, right? One of our greatest heroes is Martin Luther King. And then you have Obama, who's celebrating the history and the legacy of Martin Luther King. So, like you said, he's not even legally black, right? As you say.
Yes.
So, who would understand the mindset of that to get the change over it without it being a campaign led, you know what I'm saying, to get the mind changed? So, we're at a point where you have to get a campaign to get the minds changed. So that's where we are now. That's why we have this coronavirus. It's mind control. You know what I'm saying? So you have to look at everything step by step, but it has to be a campaign. To answer your question, it has to be a campaign to get the
To
minds
achieve
changed.
that.
Yeah.
And do I think that's going to happen? Nah.
Yeah.
I don't think people will put enough energy behind trying to change something that they feel in their heart. Like I don't care what his technical paper said or whatever. You know what I mean? Like
it's a comfort zone.
For us, we like, man,
Yeah.
look.
It's
When I look at you, like I don't know what they would classify you as. But I know when you know what I mean?
Yeah.
When you gave me that dap, you was like, say, no, this Joker, you know what I mean? Like, he black.
Yeah. I get it.
You know what I mean? Barack, when you seen Barack, when he was doing his Jones, when it was, the other people, he was like, when it was us, he was, pounding and smacking the back and grabbing their head, all that. Like, because that's what we do, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I understand to be, so let's get back to why it's important for the census, because in the hood, like Brother James' numbers were pretty good, but I do know in those census is people that's not being counted. So for them to only count 84,000 now, like, come on, I know people that ain't fill them out.
Right.
Because they like, I ain't putting my, you know what I mean? I ain't putting my information out there. And the stigma to that is they feel as though, they don't want to be controlled. They don't want to be, you know what I mean, tricked into this, or, they looking for so-and-so and they might be trying to find out who in my household. I ain't trying to tell them all that stuff. So people will purposely not fill those out because they don't think it matters. So one of the important reasons for you coming on is to, let's explain to them why it matters. You know what I mean? Because most people don't think. They look at it, especially brothers coming home, you know what I mean? Like, brothers that's on the run, illegal aliens, like, ain't nobody putting their name on this joint. That's why, the country is the way it is, because Muggs is hiding. And they like, man, no. Don't tell them so-and-so live here. You know how it is. They're going to take our benefits if they find out so-and-so here. Or don't tell, you know what I mean? So we want to dismiss all the myths, all the, you know what I mean? Just the whole, how do we get people to feel comfortable completing the census reports? Because our people just ain't, you got 84,000 that's admitting it, but I guarantee you, it's about another 40,000 of us out there that's just like, yo, man, get out of here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I hear
So
you.
how do we get more people to take this serious? Because to me, I look at it and I see the big picture. I understand that I own daycares and preschools, and I understand how the subsidies work for families that have multiple children that would like to send their kids to our schools, and like all of that stuff matters, because that's where the funds, the subsidy that pay for their children to come to our school, that's where it comes from. Like, if they don't know that this child or this family has 4 and 5 kids or whatever the case may be, they won't allow that money to be funneled down to something. To me, is something as simple as child care or food. You know what I mean? Like our food programs. That's another subsidy that comes through the government. You know what I mean? And they pay for that for those children that are represented. So to me, like how can we educate people on actually completing these census reports? Because it is important. It is very important.
It's very important.
Yeah.
Right? We hear that, but like you said, how important? How does it apply to me? Right? I did a poem. I don't know if you had a chance to hear it, right? But it says, hey, they've been calling me Negro, color, and black. You know, what will I put? What would I do to change from having them call me that? You know, and so we can't overlook the identity of the individuals who were asking to participate in something that they haven't known how it applied to them in their generation. They can clearly look at their parents and see how has it benefited them in their generation, and historically they go, this doesn't seem to apply to me. And where I'm identified within this census, it's detrimental to me.
Right.
So let me abstain from it.
Right.
And so to some degree, they're absolutely right to do that, you know, but the more you know, the more you grow. That's
Right.
why it's essential for them to have looked at and reviewed the race class definitions so they can learn how each one of those classes are applicable.
Right.
And so it is within that that they learn why it's important. It's within that they start to understand that race class and the census is not based on complexion. It's within that they start to see that where they are accounted, each national origin, all right, is where the wealth really lies.
Right.
Where Negro, colored, black, African American for the census is the only class that falls under what's called a social cultural group. This group only receives entitlements.
Wow.
They don't have access to the treasury as the other group, as the other national origin, as the other national members do.
Right.
Puerto Rico, as I said, has representation in Congress. American Indians, they have representation. Hawaii has its own representation. I mean, Hawaii just became a state within the last, 20 years, 30 years or so. And so, and white is defined as any person having origins in the original people, a person having origins in any of the original people of Europe, the Middle East, or North Africa. So the next time you see a European and you call him white, just think about it. You're probably white if you got origins in the original people of North Africa. And as a person that's classed as white, what that means in America is that you are an American citizen. See, by being born here doesn't make you a citizen. So where you're having the immigrants and where you have Negro, colors, and blacks, they are under what's called birthright citizenship from the 14th and the 15th Amendment. So this is, go ahead.
No, I got a question. Go ahead.
All right,
Finish breaking it
but
down.
this is why it's very essential, because all of what you said prior to me speaking now are deterrents. They're misnomers. They're speculation. And people have been utilizing these as excuses not
Right.
to do their due diligence.
Right.
And take their place amongst the affairs of men.
Right.
I think we're older now. We have children. We have wives. And we can no longer keep saying, there's garbage on the ground. There's garbage on the ground. Nope.
Yeah, go pick it up.
Go pick it up.
That's
Build a
right.
garbage can if you have to.
That's right.
Let's really change, let's pave the way for our children. That's why I said a national ballot, if we're gonna step out here, we're gonna have to represent ourselves on a national standard, like any other American citizen.
Now, let's break that down to the simplest form.
Yes.
The ballots, the census forms are coming in the mail weekly. All right. So when a parent or a household leader opens that up, what should they start to do?
So it's electronic, first of all. What they're going to receive is something that prompts them to go to the internet and fill it out electronically. If they don't have those means, it'll prompt them to you pick up the phone and call and give that information. If they can't do it that way either, it'll prompt them to go ahead and mail in the information. But they'll have to request it first, so they can then mail it in. But what they're going to see on there is an array of questions, maybe 9, 10 questions. Our campaign focuses on the race class item. Why? Because the entire census is personal and private. So people don't have to worry about their information being leaked. People don't have to worry about their information being misused. Most of your information is already obtained through what's called census designated places, such as the schools, such as the hospitals. So anywhere you've given your residence or household information, they get it anyway annually. You know, this is the decennial census, but there's a census annually every year, whether you know it or not.
Right.
And so, you know, when a parent opens that form, they're going to put in their personal information. They're going to put in the head of the household. You know, if there's a mother or father, how many children are in that household. You know, and they might put the names of anyone that's over a certain age. You know, and so they're going to put their household income. You know, so yeah, some people might not feel comfortable reporting these things, but the government use it in their way. You know, the Office of Management and Budget, that's who kind of appropriates the budget for the United States of America. You know, so that, you know, they're going to expect to see questions that are personal to them and will remain private, and it's not subject to public scrutiny.
So if we maximize Trenton again, so like my man Andre said, 40,000 more people, 84. So we maximize Trenton back to its 123,000. What do Trenton get out of what will Trenton get out of that maximization? Because, you know, we're only 7.7 miles. So out of that, what do you think Trenton benefits? You know, what's the total benefit of maximizing Trenton back to its population where it should be?
So that's a good hot seat question. I'm going to take a stab at it too, right? Population is different than residency, right? So you might say that Trenton has a population of 100 or had a population of 160,000. The question is, do they have 160,000 residencies that they could tax appropriately for, you know, residential tax, right? Property tax.
Property tax, right.
And so, no, they don't have precisely 160,000 properties, right? So the population is different in residency. And so if you might have, we might get back 100 and something thousand population, members of population for the city of Trenton. Here's a hot seat topic. 40,000 might be illegal immigrants. Now, if they are illegal immigrants, here's what happens. The legal immigrants who are hosting the illegal immigrants claim that there's 10 family members within that home. Now, remember I said to you, the census being counted is based on residency. Technically, those 10 illegal immigrants aren't residents and shouldn't be counted. But if they are counted, they are legally counted. And what it does is it influences the power for those Latin communities that are get more representation in Congress as a result of that. And so that's disingenuous. And how does that further affect those who identify as Negro, colored, Black, who have yet to burden their own suffrage and are still, you know, utilizing the mere privileges they have? Well, guess what? By that sheer act of the illegal immigrants utilizing their illegal numbers to get more power in Congress, it starts to develop policy where it can affect that they get their American citizenship recognized simply because of their national origin. Remember, they're not coming over in the slave status. They're either from Mexico, they're from a country that they're already recognized. Okay, and so they'll get the benefits that you in your community, people identify as Negro, colored, Black, American, haven't either been utilizing or aren't getting in the first place. You'll get a lot less of it.
So what's the benefit for the Black community
for them to be counted correctly?
Right. So what's the, like, you know, what's the the push of stipulation, like you'll say, okay, they'll get grants, they'll get different money, but how do you say that it affects them to be motivated? You know what I'm saying? Because you got to actually motivate the black community to come out to you know what I'm saying? We are black. Mm-hmm. It's something within us that makes us hear something that stirs us and say, oh, if that's the case, I'm going to do this. Right. And it's just because when you read off the legal ramifications, mm-hmm. the legal ramifications ain't going to inspire a lot of youth to come out to fill that census out, or some family households to fill that census out, because they need to be inspired. You know what I mean? We come from a reality where we seek to be inspired, and that's where we are today. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, the importance is there. There are a lot of important things that aren't getting done in our community because there's no inspiration.
I'm in the hot seat.
Right.
I'm going high.
So let's do this. Let's do this because we only got about another 7 minutes.
Oh, man, this ain't long enough.
I know, Doc. I got to have you come back, man. I got to have you come back. Yeah, I'm looking at the clock, and I'm looking at the time that we have, and, I mean.
30 seconds.
Yeah, go.
Look at what inspires us today. Their mind, see, it says give them the maximums of truth. That's not in quantity. That means the whole truth and nothing but the truth. Mm-hmm. I'm not into dumbing it down for them. Only a few are chosen. You follow those who got ears to hear and eyes to see, because not everybody gonna make it. All right? And for a long time, we've been inspired by rappers and actors, and they are not giving the most beneficial information for our children to be inspired by. That's right. But that's what I see, the reflection of that inspiration. Right. So I can only inspire them with the truth, just like Jesus inspired them with. Right. And whoever follow that, that'll make you free.
Good stuff, man. Mm-hmm. So how can people, I guess, get in touch with the organization?
Census 2020, TrentonNJ.com. will take you directly to our website.
So say it one more time.
Census 2020, TrentonNJ.com will take you directly to our website. That's all one word.
Good. We're going to have that posted on as well. All right. Man, we thank you for coming, brother. Yes. Brother James.
Yes, sir.
How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. I mean, you know, trying times, but I'm doing good.
Yeah, we pushing on.
Yeah.
So real quick, you have an organization?
Yeah, Trenton Divine Poetry Night Out is our event, and then we have the the Academy of Divine Poetry and Urban Expression. So we're building them both up.
Okay.
So we're trying to get through this phase that we're in America right now. So then we're going to start up some more events and get some classes going for the kids, get some poets going.
Good.
You know, just try to start training the kids up and adults too that, you know, will like to express themselves and feel better about what's going on in the world today from the inside out, you know. So so you can find me on Trenton Divine Poetry Night Out Facebook page, and you can find me on Facebook at James Graham.
All right. Now, what was the name of it? Trenton Divine Poetry?
Trenton Divine Poetry Night Out.
On Facebook?
On Facebook, yeah.
Okay. I got to have both of you guys come back, man.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I was a little late. I got the wrong address for some people. You know
It's all right. It's all right.
Yeah, but, you know,
reading
I got
is fundamental.
But yeah, it's good, man. Nice setup here, bro. I love it. I love it.
Yeah, I gotta have both of y'all come back, man. We was getting deep, brother.
Yes.
But our people need to be informed. So, brother Rob, I know you got something for us, man.
Yeah. Let me see. James don't remember his poem, so I'm not gonna do that.
Which one you had?
I am nothing.
Oh man, you should have told me. Well, you know what?
Never mind.
You'll be
I
back,
didn't know.
brother.
No,
be
I
back.
listen. I didn't know that we were going to still do it because the situation with this curfew coming down and everything. So I had to really check in. I didn't listen. The
It's all right,
curfew
brother.
was at 10 o'clock at first. Then they switched it to 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
I'm like, whoa, let me check in. So you know,
You gotta be in the house at the same time. Your kids gotta be in the house.
I know, man. They make. They are making it real now, man. This is so. But be encouraged, everybody. It's nothing. You know, and just go on through and.
It's better to be safe than sorry.
Yeah,
man.
and
They don't want any more
stay
people
up.
getting affected by this coronavirus. So
Yeah.
definitely 3 seconds.
Come on, bro.
Anyway, thank you guys.
This guy.